There are 16 elementary schools and 4 high schools in Missoula County Public Schools. Schools are located in a broad area from Seeley Lake to Lolo, a distance of over 70 miles north to south.
In recent years, there have been nearly 6,000 students in our elementary schools and 4,000 high school students. Missoula County Public Schools is governed by the elected Board of Trustees, also known as the School Board. The board meets the second Tuesday of each month in the District Business Administration Building on South Avenue.
The superintendent of schools reports to the board and is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the district.
Money for the schools comes from several sources: the state of Montana, local property taxes, and non-levied revenues. Montana's Constitution requires that all public schools in the state be equally funded with a guaranteed tax base. The legislature developed a formula to determine funding levels based on the needs of each public school district.
The state pays 40% of this minimum amount in direct aid. The next 40% of the budget comes mainly from state-collected corporate and personal property taxes, motor vehicle fees, and the state-guaranteed tax base.
The rest of the school district's funding comes from voted and non-voted levies, which are funded through local property taxes. Each year's budget is based on the average number of students attending school. If the budget grows due to increased enrollment, it must be approved by a local vote.
Although the elementary and secondary schools have unified under one administration, the law requires that the budgets be maintained separately. Elementary schools spend about 66% of their budgets directly on instruction and 11% on instructional support like libraries, counselors, and food service. Operations and maintenance costs are about 12%, and administration accounts for 11% of total expenses.
In secondary schools, the bulk of expenses, about 59%, goes directly to instruction. Another 16% is spent on instructional support. Operations and maintenance costs are about 13%, and administration costs are about 12%.
Schools are required as part of the accreditation process to meet basic standards of educational quality. For example, standards for the number of libraries, teacher-student ratios, and course requirements must be met before a school can be accredited.
The superintendent makes recommendations to the school board about the budget. However, the board sets the official budget.
The preliminary and final budgets are discussed at meetings which are open to the public. Anyone can have a voice in the budgets or any item in them.
How do these budgets compare to those of 10 years ago? Although dollar costs have increased since 1985, it actually costs about the same to educate a student now as it did 10 years ago, when figures are adjusted for inflation.
Missoula's cost per student is about average for Montana's AA schools. In the 1994-95 school year, the cost of educating a student in the state's largest school districts ranged from about $3,700 to $4,400 per year. Academic standards remain high. Missoula students score well above state and national averages on the SAT and ACT standardized exams.
The National Merit Scholarship is one of the highest academic honors that can be bestowed upon a high school senior. In the 1994-95 school year, Missoula had 11 National Merit finalists, far above the national average. The dropout rate for Missoula high school students is among the lowest in the nation.
The people of Missoula have always been proud of their public schools. Missoula County Public Schools continue to provide one of the best educational values in the state and the nation.
Missoula schools have remained strong because of ongoing parental support and active involvement from members of the community. Help us keep Missoula schools in the lead. You are always welcome to visit the Missoula Public Schools and to attend the school board meetings. Your thoughts and ideas are welcome and needed.